This is day 343 of Zohar, Pshat, interpret the fifth Heichal, Bechol Chamisha, on page Lamed Tes Amud Aleph. And from here we see clearly that I was wrong in my surmise that it's possible that these Heichalos are parallel. They're not parallel. One is on top of each other. At the end of this Heichal, it says clearly that this is higher than the prior ones. So that doesn't necessarily mean that the prior ones were not parallel, and this one's on top of them, which were parallel, but Pasha says that they go higher and higher. But it's hard to distinguish still between them, as you'll see. Bechol Chamisha on the fifth Heichal, Kaim Koinu Moreil de Tufta. In the fifth Heichal are all the Bali Teshuva Shleimta. In other words, even though beforehand we had people who are pretty high madrigas, but here we have the Bali Teshuva Shlema, and evidently this is the Heichal which goes like the Chazal would say, B'mokam Sh'Bali Teshuva Oindim Ein Tzadikim Gemurim Oimdim. Right, so this all the previous tzaddikim, including Rabbi Akiva Chaveirav, they don't reach level the fifth level of the Heichal of those who did tshuva shlema. Tovu mechateon, they did tshuva on their sins. Visnachmu b'hu, they regretted them. The nafkas nishmasayu b'dachu, and their soul left in purity. Obviously, the paradigm for this is Rabbi Elazar ben Durdaya, who concerning which Bacha Rebbe Varayesh Konel Lama B'Shah Achas, who did this massive tshuva, and now is that what's called Rebbe as a result. V'choinu the Marayan the Tuf to all these masters of tshuva. V'choinu the Kaddish Shmod the Marayan Mekabil Olay Mosa, those who Mekadosh the Shem Hashem and accept upon themselves death. Now it's not like the fourth Heichal we had people who died of Kiddush Hashem. Evidently this is not the same thing. Evidently this is like Elizabeth Durdaya, who says that the people who are very much connected to the Avera, they have to die in the process of doing tshuva because they can't survive once they separate themselves from this, became such a part and parcel of their lives. Evidently this is what it's referring to here. They're they accept the death which comes with full tshuva from the Averas they did. They did such horrible sins. They were so connected to the sins. They had to die in order to separate from the sins. They're on a higher madriga than everybody else. And that's what it says here. Uvatar Heichal, and at the gate of this Heichal, claim Menashe Melech Yehuda. Now this is clearly going with the opinion that the Darsh of Rishumos, which is appropriate, of course, for Mekubalim, that even those enumerated as Elam Chayil Abba do have a Chayil Abba, including Menashe. Because here's Menashe at the opening of the Heichal Chamishi. And which is the cover of the Kutshabil Tifta Shlema. According to Zohar Kodesh, he did absolute tshuva, and it was completely accepted. And Kodesh Baruch Hu made a tunnel for him to come through, because obviously there was tremendous kitrugim, tremendous prosecution against Menashe. He was so wicked, how could he possibly do tshuva and get into the Olam HaSolyonim? But Kodesh Baruch Hu, because he was sincere in his tshuva, he paved the way for him. He made a tunnel for him to come through all the prosecution. Okay, so there's amazing statements here. Okay, Menashe also to complete Baal Tshuva, and to this high majority, the fifth Heichal. Ulagome Eichola, and in the inner circle of this Heichal, Kaimikoina Moran de Tufta Takifa. This is are all those masters of the most powerful Tshuva. The Shmasa Nafkas B'Shah, as we said, Elizabeth Dudaya, the Shmasa Nafkas B'Shah this man over there. So evidently, ones before are Makabel Mis on themselves. They didn't necessarily die. Right? Kabil Masayu, right? These are the ones who actually died. They died out of the tshuva, and then, therefore they are extraordinarily holy. It's like a dying Kiddush Hashem plus. So therefore they died b'shata the dismarmu of theon, and they are given pleasure with the highest pleasures b'chol yom v'yom each and every day. So in the previous Heichal Revi'ah, we had a lot of crying. Here it doesn't seem to be that much crying. It seems that they're idunim, very high idunim. So evidently they're tikkunim, which on a lower level you still have to do, even though you're a big tzaddik, very big tzaddik. But on this level, evidently the tikkunim are already well accomplished. I don't know how many people actually have like this throughout history, but it's last thing b'yom 3 times a day. Nehiru al bego b'ahu Heichola. The light comes into this Heichal. before we had a light. In the second Heichal. I don't know if it came in three. It didn't say it came in 3 times a day. It just said this is a powerful light there. In the first Heichal, though, it said, "Uchlastin biyom nahar migo nehirui la." Okay, so here too also. So this is also absolutely a much more powerful light. So this they have the light which comes every day, by 3 times a day. So each one gets a light which is appropriate to him. And here we have a statement which Chazal make in the Gemara. They think it's yeah, it says here. Every one of them is burnt from the light of the chuppah of his friend. In other words, everybody realizes that my friend has advantage over me. Now, since they're Loma Soyanim, even though they're Nichva Mechubasa Chavero, and that's the Lashon Gemara in Basra, they can't be burnt by jealousy. It's not possible. But rather they realize and have to respect other people because each person has their own derech. And therefore, although the Lashon Chazal uses a very strange Lashon, that they're burnt from the light of the chuppah, it's got to be that they appreciate their friends. I can't understand it any other way. It's a marshal saying that they should be jealous. Of course they're not jealous. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in this island. They perfected the meat to such extent. How could they be jealous? But anyway, it is a strange lashon. Ben tata ben ela, both whether they're above or below. I'm not sure what the reference is, whether above or low. But the way the Zohar says that the way their deeds are separate, distinct in this world, so too their rewards in the world to come are distinct as well. Heichal kaimel ina chaytatar. Here it says explicitly, this heichal is above the heichal is below. Vafil tzink gamurin lo yecholin la go heichal straight up, right? Mokish bal Teshuva endim ain't tzink gamurin mamdim. Even the greatest tzink can't go in this heichal or make them ba and remain in it. I guess they can go and visit it, but they can't be sustained in it. Vayadagi la kula. This is the highest of all madregas. This heichal bar midarga the chasidik, except for the darga madreg chasidim diu darga la kula, which is actually the highest above even this one, and that's going to be the 6th Heichal.